Previously on Tales from the Humpback Sky.
You made it! Is that Kennick?
You love him. He's integral to everything.
You're a mediocre person.
I cast Earthquake.
Ah! What are you doing? I shall live in your sword. Look into the interface, and I need you to think very hard about a reflective surface. No,
What's going on?
How many people do you have inside of you? You see Ridge out of the corner of your incredibly dry eyes, Kennick hitting the big red button. Perceive is a blinding, all-consuming light. Every part of you feels as if it is breaking and shattering and splintering apart. Your consciousness splits and splits and splits again in this dissonant cascade. Your very being is fractured and hurled into an infinite void. You would scream, but you have no mouth and no breath. You are so small, tiny, insignificant, and awash in a sea of night. But you are not alone. Tiny motes of light, flickering fractals of energy, 1, 2, 3, more and more appear around you until hundreds of lights form. Echoing words whisper, "What's your name? What's your name? My name. What's your name? What's my name? My name. What's your name? What's my name? What's our name?" There is one in all, and there is all in the one. The lights converge into a single point, and then the darkness, like a curtain being pulled back, rises away. And the first thing you feel is a warm light on your face and the smell of something cooking. Owen, the machine, from your perspective, is enveloped in a blinding light.
Oh, my eyes!
When it dies down, where Ridge is standing, the machine itself, with Ridge, is obscured by what looks to be a jagged aura of fractured reality, resembling panes of broken glass, each one mirroring Ridge, but you can see different shapes, forms, and silhouettes in each reflection. An elderly man, a child, a tall, slender figure with long red hair, an old woman, small and meek, a pair of identical twins holding hands, a broad-shouldered woman stands tall, an elderly man, gaunt, with a snow-white beard, bent over, and then boom, 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 boom. Something is knocking. Something is crashing, banging at the door. But as you turn, it is not coming from the door that you came in from. There is another beside it, nearly identical, and it is crashing. Boom, boom, boom. Ridge, I need you to test your luck, please.
Okay, I can do that. I rolled under my luck.
Okay.
I'll mark that down.
Ridge, you find yourself standing in a bedroom. You're standing over a small porcelain basin, over which is a mirror. The warm water within the basin has caused the mirror to ever so slightly create a film of condensation that is slowly dripping down. The window that lies next to your bed is open, the curtains slowly wafting in the cool morning breeze, and you can smell the slight odor of sea salt and baking bread. You can hear far off the call of gulls and the muted sound of waves crashing on rock. But there is another feeling that you also have, a presence or a pressure. It is subdued at the moment, but you feel it there, and you know that this is Sophia. And you try to wrap your mind around what Sophia is or who Sophia is to you, because to you, your name is Ridge. But now you're getting these two conflicting worlds slowly converging within your own mind, because the information that Sophia holds in her mind, in this presence that is slightly subsumed under your own, is that she is Sophia. She is getting ready for morning prayers, is about to go downstairs to see her husband and make their way to the Chapel of the Convergence. That is kind of a feeling that you get. It's not words, it's more of an understanding of context. It's like if you've ever had a dream and the dream has been incredibly intense and real, and then you wake up from that dream, you are in your own reality, but that entire context of that world within that dream still exists. But at this point of time, Ridge, your consciousness is overlaid over this person.
Okay. She stares at herself in the mirror, and to check that what she sees is real, she marks her finger across the mirror to try and make a mark in the steam.
It makes that slight kind of sound, and you feel the wetness on your fingertip.
There's a name in her mouth, and it's almost like Ridge is observing Sophia from the inside, and Sophia's mouth opens and calls out, Danathan! Danathan! Are you there? And then her body moves down out the door, and following her sense of smell almost down the stairs, turning and looking around for Danathan, who Ridge intellectually knows as Sophia's husband.
You hear from downstairs Danathan respond saying, "Hi, I'm downstairs. Are you all right?"
She walks up, puts her hands on his face, and just checking he's real and touching his face and feeling the stubble on her hands, and she just staring oddly up at him and saying, is this real? And then something smacks her in the back of the head, metaphorically speaking. What day is it?
Danathan, is kind of, there's a mixture of kind of a bit of annoyance as you're grabbing him, but like amusement as well, and clear affection as he kind of grabs your hands and says, what are you hold on, what are you doing? Stop it, wait, yes, everything's real. What are you okay?
She kind of pulls away from him. She's pulling away from him now, and she's going to the windows and staring outside and looking around. She, at this point, I think the Ridge that was kind of clearly overseeing this identity is beginning to trickle away a little bit, and the Sophia personality is taking over a little bit more, and it's getting much more blurred who she is. So she turns to Danathan and says, "Something terrible happens today. Something terrible is going to happen. We have to leave. We have to get Chip, and we have to leave right now."
Danathan first looks at Sophia and just has a confused smile and says, okay, Sophia, is this some game that I'm not quite understanding? You need to explain these to me before you start with these bits, okay?
I'm serious. I'm not being hysterical. I can't. I can't quite remember, but there's something terrible is going to happen. I am certain of it. I'm sure of it. And she gets down on her knees and begins to plead in front of him. We have to go.
Denathan sees that desperation, and he recognizes it, and he comes down to her level, and he puts his hands on her shoulders, and he says, what has happened? What has happened? What do you mean something is wrong? What do you mean something bad is going to happen? Speak clearly. What do you mean? You know the archer protects us. You know this. You know this from the sermons. You know this from the scriptures. You know this from the nightly psalms. Come on. Calm yourself. It is a big day for all of us. You know this. It's a big day. We should go to the chapel. We should speak with Father Pyrex. And then once we've done that, we'll talk about maybe leaving for a day or so. But you know the dangers of the wilderness out from town. You know what we need to do in order to prepare. You know that people don't accept us and our ways. You understand this?
I must sound hysterical. I must sound insane. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like I was so clear before, and now it's so fuzzy. I'm not sure why I said those things, but can you take your blade with you, just in case?
Well, I mean, of course, Sophia.
And please don't take your eyes off Chip. He's everything.
Denathan takes a moment and says, of course not. This is just as important for him as it is for all of us. I would never. You are clearly out of sorts. Look, you need to go upstairs, finish washing, and don't forget your brooch. And he taps on, he's kind of wearing a slight half cloak, and what pins it on is a brooch that looks like a silver bow, and where it pins into the fabric is an arrow that is attached. And he looks at you and says, go upstairs. I'll go and wake Chip and make sure everything's ready. We'll go up to the chapel. There is still plenty of time. I can see something is wrong. Something is amiss here, Sophia, and we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll talk to Father Pyrex, and we will make sure that everything is fine. We need to be clear-headed for today. It's the day, Sophia. It's the day. This is what we've been waiting for such a long time.
This might sound a little crazy, but what day is it?
It's the day of the convergence. It's everything that we've been working towards. The hymn will be sung. The song will go out into the ether. We will finally know what it is to be one with everything. And then we can truly start the work that our people have been prepared for. Now go upstairs. Look, take your time. Take your time. Please don't rush and breathe. I'll make sure Chip is ready to go. Don't forget your cloak. Don't forget the brooch. And then we'll go up. We'll go up the ridge, and we'll go to the chapel.
Okay. I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me, Denathan. Must have just been daydreaming and just got carried away with the dream. I'll go up. I'll be right back down. And I think as she turns and maybe gives him a peek on the cheek, and as she turns to leave, gets to the bottom of the stairs, turns back and just blinks, and for a split second, the image of their house is just a ruined, burnt, just there's nothing left, and there's screams and there's burning and there's smoke everywhere, and then it's gone again. And she and then it's gone. And then she can't really remember what she just saw, but she just feels disturbed and then walks back up the stairs to get ready for the conference.
As she walks upstairs, she hears Denathan's voice. Chip, get up. Chip, why are these on the floor? Why are these on the floor? Right. Put them away. We'll put them away now. We'll put them away now. And then it kind of fades off. Owen, the door, this brand new door, it shudders with this knocking.
Whoa.
Boom. 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 The middle portion of the door begins to break. Something incredibly heavy is hitting the door.
Okay. Unslinging my maul, I say, Kinnick, are you seeing this?
Kinnick is currently like moving around the circumference of the machine. He's like disconnecting and connecting various tubes. He's turning various wheels. Anything that is not within the aura, he's got like a little pencil, and he's like ding, ding. He's like tapping the aura, and he says, "It's hard. I can't get it. I can't get it through. I'm not sure what. Sorry, what do you mean?" And then he sees, and he realizes what's happening behind him, and he says, "What is that? That door wasn't there before, was it? What was it?"
No, it definitely was not.
Boom, boom.
I've been saying, boom. Okay. Hello? There's somebody in here, lab occupied.
The booming gets louder and louder, and as it reaches this crescendo, this massive boom, the door bursts open. As it does, this rush of incredibly hot air wafts over you. There are cinders and ash that begin to float around you. Two silhouettes are at the door. One is a little distant behind, but the silhouette in the forefront is disconcertingly familiar. Owen, from where you stand, you are looking at yourself, but you're a little taller and you look a little stranger. You can see that there are these scarred markings, fresh scarred markings on the sides of your face and on your bare shoulders. You have what looks to be a belt of bronze skulls around your midsection. Slung in your hands is a massive bronze maul, the head of which looks like a double-headed dragon.
Oh my
slung
God.
around,
amazing.
slung around your body, it is the dried, desiccated husk of a shedded worm skin.
Oh, holy shit!
One of your eyes has been heavily scarred to the point that it is half closed and white. But in the center of your forehead, there is another eye that blinks and has a reptilian, almost snake-like quality to it.
Oh my God.
The wind is howling and the heat is nearly unbearable. You see the other figure who is wrapped in this shadowy cloak. You hear yourself say these words.
When it glows red, smash the panes. Follow the thread. Pull them out.
And then he takes from his side a ring of heavy iron keys and he throws it at you. And then he says,
"You'll need these."
Then there is this incredibly loud roar. Owen turns. He nods at the shadowy figure, who then pulls out what looks to be this long silvered bow. And then he grabs the door and slams it shut. And then the door
Wait,
disappears.
wait, Mel. What are the lotto numbers for next week? Oh, I hope you wrote that down, Kinnick. My memory's terrible. What did he say? What did I say? What did he say? Follow the threads. When the light goes red, smash them. Okay. Oh, geez.
Shifting back to Ridge, leaving your home, Danathan leading the way, Chip is holding on to the corner of your cloak. you step out onto the main road of the village known as Mackelbie's Ridge. The rough-hewn stone beneath your feet is worn smooth by generations of use. The village itself is carved from the rock of a lone promontory, which rises against a sky painted in molten hues of burnt orange infused with soft pink. The fading remnants of dawn bleeding into a turquoise sea, which moves and undulates with a gentle, rolling, whispering wave that crashes against the cliffside. Above, crimson gulls ride the warm sea breeze. Their calls are sharp yet distant, floating like embers over the squat stone dwellings. The village breathes with a slow rhythm of the morning, already stirring with the quiet industry of its people, excited and tinged with trepidation. You know many of them, if not all of them by name, as you see them moving with hurried steps from their homes. See Brother Peyton and Sister Paddocks, Father and Mother Crisco Hucks, Brother and Sister Lyle, Mother and Father Trentham, each a thread in the tightly woven fabric of this place, each moving with purpose, each wearing a small half cloak with a silver bow brooch. You can see that the forge fires are already lit. The lights of the ceramic workshop have already come alive, the wavering light glimmering off glassy coated vessels cooling on racks. The rich warm scent of freshly baked bread spills down the main street, mingling with the crisp salt air. And you can see, as the path meanders up, you see the chapel of the Convalescent Convergence, stands solemn at the crest of the rise. Its weathered stone facade is bathed in the first golden fingers of sunlight. The sea wind carries a faint murmur of voices, offering quiet morning blessings, as many begin to pay tribute to this auspicious day. And amongst them is an old man, slightly bent with a slight hump on his back. He has a long white beard and severe blue eyes. He wears a simple robe over which is a dark half cloak with a silver brooch. Clutched in his gnarled hands is a driftwood cane, and he looks over as various members of your community are putting the finishing touches on the chapel. Various small flags and pinions and markers of celebration are just being put on as final finishing touches. As you approach, Father Pyrex sees you, one palm lifted up towards you, and he says, morning blessings. It is a wondrous thing to see such a glorious and young, fit family making their way up the rise to pay tribute. You are a little early, though, Danathan. Is something amiss? Danathan steps in front of you, Sophia, and just says, well, Sophia, I think, needs to speak with you, Father Pyrox. I think the nerves of the day are wearing upon her a little already. I think a calm, soothing voice is what perhaps we both need to hear.
I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing.
Pyrex looks at you, Sophia, and says, No. That is why I am here. Let's go inside. Chip, perhaps you'd like to help little Margaret put up the flags over there by the table. Chip turns, and you can see there's a small young girl who is helping several other members of the community. Chip looks up at you, Sophia.
It's okay, sweetie. I'll see you'll be back in just a moment. You go have fun. I'll be right back.
Chip then runs off and joins the preparations. You and Danathan are then gestured to enter inside of the chapel.
I'm so sorry for all this trouble, Father, especially on a day like today. Such an important day for all of us. It's just that, this morning, when I was getting ready, I had the strangest sensation go over me, a sense of having lived another life, other lives. I was certain for a moment that something terrible, something truly awful was going to happen today. But I don't know why I thought that. I can't remember why I would think that. And as the morning has gone by, I feel very much myself again. But Danathan, she sort of looks towards him, suggested I tell you anyway, just to be sure, just to, maybe calm my nerves. I'm a little uneasy still. Something doesn't feel quite right, but I'm sure it's nothing.
Father Pyrex nods as he moves into the interior of the temple. You can hear the echoing sound of the driftwood cane that on the flagstones as he listens intently. You come to the main chamber, the sepulchre. You can see at the center there is a pulpit behind which is a large circular opening, like a well. He stands looking down, and you can hear the rhythm and the rushing of the waves from below, and you can feel the rush of air as it comes up from the sea. Over this well, there is suspended by several chains the image of an archer, almost seeming to float above the well itself. The archer is in what looks to be a warrior's pose, a fighting pose. The string is pulled back, about to release the arrow. On the archer's back, there are many other arrows within the silvered quiver. Father Pyrex looks up at the archer and then looks to you and says, the archer must trust that each arrow in their quiver is fit for purpose. He cannot,
yes, of course.
He cannot doubt, for when he is in battle, his focus must be keen, and his sight must be sure. Any delineation can cause fault. A miss of a target, an arrow which falls short of its intended place, falls short of the archer who fired it. We do not fault the archer his aim, nor the strength of his arm. But if the arrow is wanting, do you know what I mean, Sophia?
If you were worried that I am going to somehow, in my state of mind, disrupt our ritual, I can assure you, I feel absolutely fine. It was just a momentary disturbance in my mind, but I'm feeling much better now.
He looks at you very intently. Is Sophia being honest?
No, she's not. Basically, I think that because she can't remember consciously, but Ridge has lived with so much depth of all these lives, and now it's so linear. And so she feels this absence of so much and just feels very shallow and empty. And she's also lying about the fact that she had this vision of everything burnt and smoky and death and screaming. Because she's too scared to admit that she's seen that to anyone.
Okay. With that in mind, can you roll under your skill, please?
Okay. No, that's a fail.
Okay. Father Pyrex looks at you and then looks at Danathan, and there's a little bit of concern in his eyes. Danathan puts his hand on your shoulder and says, Sophia is dedicated, as all of us, as dedicated as she can be. She understands. This is the day we've all been waiting for. Sophia understands.
I do.
I think what she is feeling is what perhaps many of us are feeling, is the trepidation. we await the arrival of the Great Inquisitor, he will test us to see if we are worthy to take on the great work of the Celestial Archer. He will present us with the silver bow, and we will be proved. I think all of us feel a little nervous. Everyone here. So perhaps we just need a little time to reflect, Father Pyrex. I think that's all. Sophia?
Yes, just a moment of contemplation, some time to reflect. I think that's all that I need. And I will be centered and balanced and ready for this monumental day.
Father Pyrex seems satisfied. He nods. He then looks up towards where the archer is suspended and says, "The life of a celestial warrior is one fraught with peril, held aloft, but with no guarantee of shored footing. He can only trust in his tools. But I know you, Sophia. I have known you since you were a child. I have known you since we made the Great Migration. I have known your parents. I have known your grandparents. And I know that you have been set upon this path like all of us. Stay here a while. Look upon the face of the archer. I must go now to the edge and make meeting. It is nearly time, and the Inquisitor, well, he is coming. I will make my leave. Stay."
Of course, Father. And she kneels before the silver archer and sort of arms opened wide on her knees, just pleading for the archer and whispers to give her strength and to give her clarity and to give her peace on this important day.
Okay. I'm going to shift to Owen and Kinnick. Kinnick looks to you, Owen, and just says, "Was that who was that? Was that looked like? Was that? I've got a lot of thoughts about this, Owen. Was that you? Was that you?"
I mean, sort of. I think it's some sort of glorious, amazing version of me, but with like a freaky lizard eye. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was. Sounded like me. Looked like me, sort of, kind of, yeah.
What did you say?
I just got to put in more effort at the gym, I think. Jeez.
Yeah, perhaps something unexpected, I think, has occurred.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. Jeez.
Ridge, with what? Can you explain what exactly? I think this has always been a point that we've never quite the proverbial elephant within the room. Do you know what Ridge is?
Okay, look, you're asking about Ridge.
Yes.
Sit down. This is going to take you by surprise. Okay, Ridge is a demon hunter.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yes. That was clear. That was clear. That's been clear from a lot. Yes. I mean,
then I don't understand the question.
I always assumed that Ridge was just like a shapeshifter of some kind. But
Yeah.
this is not a shapeshifter. This is something else. This is like multiple beings in one. This is like a convergence of souls in one being. This is not something that shifts the shape.
Your guess is as good as mine. Sometimes Ridge looks like an old lady. Sometimes he looks like a young dude, but he's always Ridge.
Okay.
So your guess is as good as mine. This is the first time I've seen him split apart into his multitudes, as you would say. So, you know, I don't know.
You see kind of Kinnick like quickly kind of calculating all these different like fractured panes of reality, each one kind of resembling a different person. He says at least 100, perhaps nearly 200 different
Owen
beings?
starts looking at the different fractures and looks. Oh yeah, that one right there. That's the old man. See him?
Yes.
He's been him. And that one over there, up there. That's the young woman. So this is all Ridge, I guess.
the one that you see with the woman, it's a little larger and it's a little clearer than the others. It's like that one seems to stand out and is almost turned towards Ridge much more closer than the other kind of fractured pieces of reality.
Oh, right. That must be the, is that like the one that he was most recently? Does that one look like his body currently? No.
Yes.
Yes.
They are. They look similar. As you talk, there is this kind of constant like as like the reality kind of shifts and then cracks and reforms and breaks and re-breaks and reforms constantly.
So is this, good? Is it, we're not going to end reality as we know it with this situation?
I feel, looking at Kinnick, there's kind of like a clarity in his eyes. And he looks at this and he says, I feel perhaps I was so concerned whether or not I could do this. I didn't consider whether, and then he kind of drifts off and thought, oh, I think, Owen, I think we might have made a bit of a mistake. Or I didn't expect, you see, one person, maybe had you gone in with your own one body and nothing else inside, would have been totally fine.
I was never going to do that.
A single entity, but with one, soul or a spirit but whatever Ridge is, whatever they are, I think it's too much, and I don't know what's going to happen. As he says this, Owen, you feel like a distinct drop in temperature, and you begin to notice across like the bottoms of the windows and the walls, little formings of icicles.
Nice. Oh, Kinnick, we've got a situation here. This is the what's that thing called? One of the things that we went and got.
Time frame.
He looks as you're pointing. I think yes, this is that's time rhyme. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not.
Now look, it's a high that we run into a pig. So just be on alert.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I can. He kind of begins kind of looking around at the interior, which is very difficult because the reality is kind of warped in a way that it's very. Everything is obscured by the strange fractal sensation, this optical illusion of sorts. And he says, I need to get in there and I need to tighten the binders. If I can tighten the binders, we might be able to slow things down.
Okay. How do we get in?
I think we might have to smash it, Owen.
What'll happen to Ridge?
I don't know. But if this can't be contained, I don't know what will happen.
Well, we're not going to smash it with Ridge inside it, mate.
We need to make like a surgical strike inside. In there. You've done it before. You and Ridge, you love smashing things, right? Come.
Usually,
that's your thing.
Usually.
Well, if something's not done soon.
I don't want the rhyme. Okay, look, you're the scientist. You point me in the right direction and I'll give you your surgical strike.
All right. He then goes to where the edge of this strange fractal aura is, and he begins to kind of focus and look. He takes out a small magnifying eyeglass and puts it up to his face and begins to look carefully. And then after a few moments and after a few more drops in temperature, he points to a piece of this fractured reality, and he says, right there, one solid strike.
All right. This is for all the ridges. I'm going to smash it with my maul.
All right. I need you to roll under your maul skill, please.
It's the most solid strike I can do. Has to be under. And you know what? Because my skill is quite high, it is.
All right. As your maul hits this fractal aura, it doesn't smash apart, it smashes inwards and concaves and stretches, almost like it becomes elastic. So as soon as your maul hits it, there is this kind of smashing and then this warping sound, and you can feel yourself able to move forwards as the aura stretches around your maul.
Onward.
Kinnick nods. Yeah, forward. Just a little forward.
All right. Easy does it.
I need
easy.
You feel as you begin to move forward, the convulsing and the pressure and the tautness begins to become incredibly strong enough that you feel this heavy resistance that only flexing.
Yes, flexing. I was just thinking of flexing. I was like, I feel like I can flex my way out of this. All right, I'm going to try and flex through this.
Okay.
I'm going to plant my feet shoulder width apart, not locking the knees, but keeping them soft, but also ready to pump up the jams, pump it up, pump the jams, and pop those muscles.
Okay.
Oh no. I mean, yay?
Is it over or is it over or under?
It's 1 over.
Okay. So as you begin moving forward, you begin to get closer and closer to your intended goal, and then the pressure and the tautness becomes too much and it snaps you back. You move back with great speed. You smack into Kinnick. Both of you boom, 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 roll over and kind of collide into one of Eska Howel's broken tables and fall to the ground. As this happens, there is a flash of light and a piece of warped reality cracks off and sparks and then flies towards your direction. And you can see as this piece of shattered reality then almost takes on a spider-like shape, and this strange glass-like twitching interdimensional creature that kind of fractures and breaks and cracks, and this herky-jerky motion makes its way towards you. You are now in initiative.
Jerky I can stand, but herky,
All right.
Step too far.
With that, we're going to move back to Ridge and Danathan.
Okay.
Time has moved forward. You are now standing with Danathan and Chip in a large procession. You have left the chapel after your contemplation, and you have now joined the entirety of your community. Everyone is there, gathered at the bottom of the rise. You are looking up through the road that leads up to the chapel. The sky is now crisp, bright blue with little drifts of cloud. You can hear the rolling sound of the waves and the hum of the community around you, this excited reverberation of hushed voices. You see Father Pyrox is standing with a tall figure. This figure is wearing a long black cloak, high collar. On top of their head is a black wide-brimmed hat. At their side is a silver rapier. Around their neck there is a long medallion with ending in the shape of a silver bow. The figure's top face is obscured by the shadow cast from their wide-brimmed hat. Father Pyrex speaks out to his congregation and says, I have spoken with the Inquisitor. The words have been exchanged. And yes, my dear friends, we have been found to be righteous and ready. Our numbers have grown, as has our faith. We are all standing here united, resolute. Finally, the day has come where we can serve the great Archer and be as one. The great mystery will be rolled away from us, and our eyes will be opened. Today is indeed the day. We will make our way up to the chapel. We will sing the song, and we will bring about the convergence. Come, let us sing. And he begins to lead you in a walking hymn as everyone's voices begins to rise.
As they begin their walk out, she holds her arms on her sides and sort of, she's so excited. But she turns to Jonathan and said, "It's a little chilly, isn't it? It's a little chilly for this time of day."
Jonathan looks at you, Sophia, and goes, "I suppose. Are you all right? Do you?"
"Oh, I'm fine. Let's go and be one, and be at peace, and find our destiny."
He puts his hand on your shoulder, squeezes it, and he says, "I couldn't be here without you. You are everything. And I am so happy to be here with you, finally. All of our dreams are finally coming true for both of us." And he says, "I love you, Sophia." And then he turns and begins to join in the song. As you slowly begin to walk up through the town, up to the chapel, the song begins to grow louder and louder, more raucous, more joyful, as the harmonies and the melodies converge. You were led up, and Father Pyrex, with the Inquisitor in their dark robes, leads the congregation around the exterior of the chapel 3 times. As he does so, he says, "3 times the great archer has kept the shores of chaos at bay. 3 times he has kept the veil of our sacred domain free of the creatures of that warped and foul abode."
3 times!
And you hear that echoed throughout. And now, inside, my friends, we will sing the final song. As he does so, you can see that the Inquisitor has taken something out from their robes. It looks like a long, thin slither of silver, like a silver rod. It is long and it is slender. They hold it in their hand like a scepter. As the congregation enters inside and you begin to come into the chapel, moving around the central well, hearing the crashing of the ocean dies out in the wake of the sounds of the voices. The Inquisitor, this strange, enigmatic figure, steps up, stands where Father Pyrex would at the pulpit. They hold up this slender scepter and they place it in both their hands and mutter something under their breath. Something unheard in the song that is being sung by the congregation. This slender scepter of silver begins to glow. And as it does, it rises from the Inquisitor's hands and changes, bends and warps and turns into a slender silver bow. The Inquisitor utters a few words as the song dies down. All the Inquisitor says is, "I deem you worthy. I mark you with my seal." And he makes a gesture with his hand, and as each gesture that he makes, there is a red sigil that is formed in the shape of a bow that resembles the brooches on all of you. And as it glows, the brooches also begin to glow. The song begins to rise once more. "The convergence is a holy rite. May you be one for the battle to come. For only one stands in the face of chaos. But in the one, there are many." The bow begins to float up above his head. It begins to glow with an intense light. The crimson sigil floating near him also glows. The entire building begins to be suffused in this red crimson hue as it comes over everything like a cloak. You feel the building begin to shake. There are a few voices, unsure, but The song continues, louder and louder. The brooches begin to glow brighter and brighter. As you look around, Sophia, you can see everyone is looking up towards the shining silver bow. Everything you have ever wanted, ever since you were a child, has led to this moment. The convergence is now.
Enjoying Tales from the Humpback Sky? Rate, review, and follow wherever you get your podcasts from. It helps more than you think. Thanks for listening.